Anti-Afro Svengalis, I said in the last video that I had left 2 clips off in sequence. And I was going to come back, play those clips, and explain to you the significance. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So stay tuned, and I will return.
Moving on. I did a live stream called request to stop, accept it, let her know. Me and my people we moving on. If anybody out here is talking about you, trying to do anything, I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. And I made it known. And I still stand behind it. I still became the point of attack. To the point, this lady said that if I was working, and I have the motherfucking audio, if I was working, she would be contacting my job. And if I have a license, certificate, my property and casualty license, she was gonna come for that too. For what? I ain't said shit about you, and nobody can pull any audio, even the audio that y'all downloaded, any audio explaining why the hell would you come for my job if I was working? What kind of shit is that? I'm tired of being threatened on that level. I'm tired of people telling me that I did something to deserve to get shot. I'm tired of that bullshit. And if I feel it necessary to speak, I'm going to speak. And if you like it, you like it. And if you don't, move the fuck around. I don't give a damn no more. Because y'all don't give a fuck about my feelings. I don't care about y'all feelings. The reason why I am single is because I'm not going to bring women like yourself around my children, because y'all fucked up. Any woman that sits here and talks like she's talking is fucked up in a man, and all y'all hang around each other. That's why she's fucked with Svengali. Svengali is fucked up, and she fucked up.
All right, so here's the situation. I stated before that I would decide based on how I felt as time went on, how, when, and where I would address these comments that Grumpy Monkey made during Christmas week, primarily the 23rd and the 24th of December, 2022, but it does not start there. So I'm going to address both of these clips. As to the first claim, where Grumpy Monkey, this is Propane Oakland's live stream from December 24th, and you hear Stargate at least trying to get some words in edgewise. You heard Grumpy Monkey just indignant, really declaring this sense of being aggrieved, innocent. I don't know what's going on. I haven't said anything about AAS. What kind of shit is this? She's got no reason or basis. I haven't said shit about her. You heard what he said. I'm just recapping. Well, of course, Grumpy Monkey's lying. If there's one thing about me that everyone who knows me will tell you, I do not go and jump on random people, especially if it's a free-for-all and I'm just going to jump in. I don't have any issue with that person and I'm going to go and attack a person. That is not what I do. I'm only going to speak on someone if they're speaking on me, if I so choose to do that, or coming after someone that I really care about. I'll speak on that. But I am not the person who jumps up and starts randomly attacking people for no reason. And there would never be a situation where I would just call or contact someone's employer because I'm pissed at them. Now, let me clarify the terminology. He was saying calling jobs. Let me be specific to me. I don't pick up a phone and call someone's employer and complain about them. If I am going to submit a complaint, it's going to be in writing and my name is going to be signed to it. That goes back to the very beginning. As a matter of fact, that's how Umar Johnson learned my name. Somebody gave him an email. If I was ever concerned about Umar Johnson finding out who I was, I never would have signed my name, and I continued to sign my name every time I filed a complaint against Umar. So let's get that straight. I am not the person who was running around calling Binary's job, Rev G's job, other people's jobs, and spreading lies. That is not the same thing. I got to say this because people tend to equate the two. Between calling someone's job and you're telling bald-faced lies on them, and you're repeatedly calling over and over and over and over and over again. I've never done anything like that to anyone's job or to anyone. Now, let me see. Your handcuffs was running around saying that I was kept calling Binary's job. That is a lie. I called Binary's job once to follow up on a contact person, but the complaint had already been filed. Just as a matter of history, revisiting history. You heard in this first clip where Grumpy Monkey said he did a video called Request to Stop, and he hadn't said anything about me. And he also said in the video later on, or Rev G, both statements are lies. But let me focus specifically on me, since he's mentioning me here. He put the video out, which we have. I know that he's deleted a bunch of videos. We have that video. It was posted, I believe it was December 18th, 2021. He said, I'm moving on, we're moving on, whatever. It wasn't even 2 weeks later he started running sneak panels on us. We had no idea he was running sneak panels on us. At the very end of December 2021 is when he started dropping sneak panels on us. We had no idea he was doing that. They sent the live streams to me first. And I'm going, what in the heck is going on here? For what reason? See, now I'm in his role. He's talking about how indignant he is about me saying I'm going to call his job, quote unquote, and come for the insurance certificate. He is the one that ran on these sneak panels about us. Okay, not only that, as the year moved on into 2022, and by the way, a lot of the things that he was saying in the sneak panels were lies. So we have to deal with that. People sending in these sneak panels, and then as the year progressed, 2022, he starts going on these, I don't want to say panels, chats. Either he's leaving messages in the actual live stream chat, or he's leaving messages or leaving messages in the comment section after the live stream is posted, if the live stream stayed up. So we started getting notice and screenshots because I don't go to these people's pages. And guess who was right there leaving comments, applauding, clapping, laughing, supporting Grumpy Monkey. So he's doing this. It's progressing throughout 2022. He's doing this. So it's bullshit that he didn't say anything about me. He continued, and his comments became more derogatory, more abusive. He continued to lie on me, called me all kinds of, I'm not even saying shit about him. Now, every once in a while, we would come back and say this and that, but he became more abusive and started supporting more and more of these threats against us. Now, Dumble Ding Dong actually made comments that were so serious that Gerald filed police report on him. And I said it in one of the recent videos. He was threatening me and Gerald with life-ending violence and me with sexual assault. And there Grumpy Monkey was supporting those comments. Same thing with Corey Slater. He was making these derogatory comments, these threatening comments towards me and Rev G, and Grumpy Monkey's right there, applauding it all, laughing, supporting. Also, same thing with Demon Moore. He was making derogatory comments about us. So that's a bunch of bullshit that he didn't do anything. So let's make a comparison to what he was complaining about. And I'm sure you all have heard it. He has a very big issue that Rev G and me are in Remix's chat as if we're the only two people there. Only two people there. He's focusing in on our comments, and try as he might to link in me and Rev G with his mutual verbal combat, argument, disagreement, beef, whatever you want to call it, with Remix. That's what he's equating this with. We were not participating directly in that conversation, except for me letting Remix know that Grumpy Monkey repeated a lie about his mother. So they're going back and forth. I was not on the panel. I was in the chat. That is not a crime to sit there in a chat and have a discussion with a friend, we're talking about Grumpy Monkey, but we're saying something else. Remix is on the panel with other people. And it's very interesting how Grumpy Monkey didn't say shit about any of those people up there. The only people he settled in to going back and forth with while he was drunk was Remix and Rev G, because he was getting comfortable over on Propane's channel, getting drunk, hopping up there, screaming and hollering, making a fool out of himself. What the hell does that have to do with me? So if anybody's going to be assigned to any sort of threats, inappropriate comments, it would be somebody who is demonstratively showing their support rather than people who are typing messages on a totally different topic. I already stated I made one video related to that topic. And that was a support video in support of his crime victim right. Trying to pull me into something I have nothing to do with is never going to work. Trying to character hijack my disposition about this whole overall, what do you want to call it? Dispute, disrespect, lying, all of it. That's his perspective, trying to convince you of something that simply never occurred. Now, what does this have to do with contacting his employer if he was working, as he stated, or coming for the insurance certificate? Listening to what you just heard, add to that Grumpy Monkey running around demanding I cam up. Can he make me cam up? No, but that is called taunting. That is called threatening. He's hanging around people who repeatedly verbalize intent to perpetrate violence on a repetitive basis. You tell me Corey Slater doesn't threaten violence essentially every time he turns on that live stream. Physical violence, sexual violence. He attacks every protected group under the sun, and there you have Grumpy Monkey over there applauding it. That is taunting. So this is appropriate conduct for someone who's entrusted to sell insurance for the state. That's where that's coming from. I don't have to sit here and take any of that garbage. As he was up there crying and saying that he doesn't have to take it, take what? Take what? He cannot take this conduct that he is doing and place it on me. If I was doing what he was doing, I would definitely be subjected to discipline. He is up here acting like he has been aggrieved. Okay, so let's go on to, I think Stargate did a damn good job handling herself. He said that I'm effed up in the head. So let's start with physiological realities that we know for sure. Because Grumpy Monkey has posted this on his channel. As a matter of fact, his situation about the attempt on his life was on the main page as the, what do you call, feature? People recognize this. The feature of him being shot in the head. It was there for a while. So if you're shot in the head, that's a traumatic brain injury. Obviously. Okay, there's no secret there. I've never been shot in the head. In fact, I've never experienced any head injury in my life. So if we're going to go physiological, and you're going to talk about somebody's head condition, physiological head condition, I wouldn't be in that category. He would be in that category. So let's cover that, knock that out of the way. So now we're going to talk about actions. He's making a statement saying that I'm effed up in the head, and he's saying that based on what he claims that I've done. Well, he can have his opinion all day, every day about thinking I'm effed up in the head. But guess what? I get to have my opinion about why I think he's effed up in the head. And here goes. If you feel the need to run up under, because he's got everything to say about every place I go. Ever since I left his channel, he's had something to say about every single space that I've been in. He feels he has a right to comment on. Okay, it's a free country. You can comment on what you want, and so can I, and here is what I'm doing. He claims I'm effed up in the head, yet he goes and hangs out with Corey Slater. Of everybody in and around the Umar Johnson sector, one of the most foul, one of the most disgusting, one of the most continuously threatening, abusive on so many levels, more quick to reference sexual acts, whether they are heterosexual or gay related, specifically man on man booty sex and shoving stuff up people's booties, threatening to kill people. I'm a gang member, all this. And let's not leave this off. Corey Slater brandished a handgun right here on YouTube, making threats. So where in the heck does Grumpy Monkey get off making any comments about where I go? What he's accusing me of? He's guilty of it. You're hanging out with someone who's ready to shoot someone, and you are a victim offline of an attempted murder where someone shot you in the head. And you say that I got problems based on who I'm hanging out with. And it comes down to nothing other than mutual verbal combat between Grumpy Monkey and Remix. If there are other people out there that make comments about Grumpy Monkey needs to get with them. But I know that will not happen, because if you look at the list, there's about 15 people on a list that have made comments across the board about Grumpy Monkey. Not all of them are referencing the attempt on his life. And I will say this, everybody knows that you shouldn't be drinking with a traumatic brain injury. I don't have any disruption to brain activity based on any chemicals that are put in my body. Specifically, I'm referring to alcohol and or any drugs that are taken that are not under a doctor's supervision. So if you want to talk about who's effed up in the head, I wouldn't meet the criteria. That's my criteria. Aside from that, there is absolutely no illegal behavior, activity, conduct. There are no civil wrongs that I have engaged in. True, people have their free speech. They have a right to express themselves. So any complaint, any concern, any anger, any frustration associated with me and what I say is just that. If anyone feels that what I'm doing is so atrocious, they're welcome to file a complaint with any agency they so choose. I've never stood in anybody's way. I'm not coming on here screaming and hollering because people filed complaints. File a complaint. I am not the one who's getting in trouble for making false reports, and nothing can come of a false report made on me. I am not going to worry about that. What I'm also not going to do is sit up here and let Grumpy Monkey run tales, all these tall tales, making up all of these wild claims that never happened, while he sits here and places himself, self-installs as a victim, not even telling you all the things that he's done and all the places that he has gone. He is the one who's leaving a huge hole about what really happened. He just comes on here and demands that you accept him as the aggrieved. He is not the aggrieved here on YouTube. He is the initiator. He is the aggressor. He's the one that stabs people in the back. He's the one that talks shit about people who are supposed to be his supporters. He's the one who doesn't provide any protection in chats. And that channel is nothing but a dumping ground for rejects and losers who are not welcome in other places, where it's totally acceptable to drop people's full addresses, their spouses, their children's names, / legal government names, any personal information about a person that they think that they have. Even if it's not about that person, they're putting an innocent person at risk. These are the things that are allowed in Grumpy Monkey's chat, just like it's allowed in the other Loserville. They're moving between two spaces, but for me, I'm going to make this clear. It doesn't matter how loud Grumpy Monkey screams, how many panels he jumps on, how much he cries and whines and complains and demands that we accept him as a self-installed victim here on YouTube. That is not going to have any bearing on any decision that I make that's in my best interest or in the best interest of people that I care about. It is irrelevant what condition anybody puts up, what they say that they're experiencing, but it's mighty funny. They don't have any problem perpetrating atrocities. They just want you to not do anything about it. I don't even know how to operate like that. I don't care who the person is. If the lines are crossed, I'm going to get the authorities involved. The authorities whether it's law enforcement, whether it's a job, whether it's a licensing board. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to sit here and be anyone's fodder or attack content quietly. What Grumpy Monkey thinks about that has no bearing on my actions. The documentation is there. It is perfectly legal to report people for the conduct that I have cited. And again, like Dumpsy D. Durrell, Medicare defrauder Dempsey Spears had been doing for years, paying people to file false reports against me. And I never heard a thing from any registration or licensing board because they probably knew it's a bunch of garbage. They can come here to YouTube like everybody else. You don't think they would come to YouTube and look? I have a right to free speech and I have a right to defend myself, and I will do just that. All of these lies that Grumpy Monkey is floating around is simply response to frustration and anger that his attack campaign on me and Rev G failed. Just because someone doesn't like me means you're going to align with him. They could hate every existence, every molecule in my body doesn't have anything to do with whether or not any smart person is going to end up rocking with Grumpy Monkey. What are you getting from that? You're in a cesspool. You're in a dumping ground where people are being doxxed and the host doesn't give a damn. The host doesn't give a damn that shit can fall right back on him. Or maybe he does give a damn because he's deleting a bunch of videos. At any rate, nothing that Grumpy Monkey does or says, no matter how loud he screams, no matter how drunk he gets, I'm going to look after my best interests and those I care about. People, you know there's much more to come. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.